Hello everybody and welcome to Movement and Yoga Online. We're on week 14 and I hope that you're all safe and well at home, and if you are moving about a bit more that you feel comfortable to do so as well. I hope these sessions have really helped keep you open and active within the body, even if you're staying at home, to make it far easier for sitting and resting as well. I thought this week to focus a little bit more on the breath and realise that it's not so much as controlling the breath, but noticing how your breath is. And there's this lovely, I've got a couple of books. One is called Breathe by Sandra Sabatini. Breath. And Sandra Sabatini was a student under Vanda Scaravelli. And Scaravelli's the style or approach to yoga that I was taught under as well. So Vanda Scaravelli said about the breath that breathing is the essence of yoga. Breath naturally without forcing it. There's no pressure, no disturbance. Nothing should interfere with the simple tide-like movement of our lungs as we breathe in and out. So breathing is the most important part of our yoga practice. I really like this idea of that there's no pressure, there's no disturbance, and nothing should interfere with the simple tide-like movement of our lungs as we breathe in and out. And there's this other part in Sandra Sabatini's book. It's not about doing, it's about undoing and letting go, releasing, allowing, opening and softening. As you breathe and become aware of your breath, all of this will happen naturally in your body. Everything will happen naturally if you let it. The breath is how it happens. So from here, thinking of our breath. So anytime I'm going through a sequence and I explain an inhale and an exhale, if your breath is shorter or longer, that's how you can move your body with your own breath. So it's your own rhythm. So I might breathe a little too slow or a little too fast for you. So this is the great joy of our unique individual bodies, that we all need different things. We're not all built the same, and that's wonderful. So just to begin, we'll start lying on the floor, or you can lie on a bed or a flat surface. And if you wish to, you can have a bolster under your knees, but we'll lie with our feet flat on the floor and our knees up towards the ceiling. So getting comfortable on the ground, we will do some moving around whilst we're here. So lying down on the ground, gently making your way there, perhaps lifting the pelvis up to rearrange the spine and allowing the arms to relax on the ground beside you. See how your shoulders are and your head and neck, really getting comfortable. You can wiggle around for a bit just to really make sure you're there. Feet are just nice and spread on the floor. Toes are relaxed and the heels are touching. So we don't want the feet too close or too far away either, so that we're gripping in the thighs. So it's kind of like a suspension bridge. The knees are kind of like the tall parts of the suspension bridge, and then the legs, the thighs and everything else can just hang and suspend. And as we lie here, We can let gravity take our bodies and take our weight to the ground, not holding anything. And we're just going to start to notice our breath. What's it doing right now? Not changing or forcing anything. Just notice how it feels. Notice where it is. There's nothing wrong about the breath. Just noticing where it is and how it is for you today. Lovely. So from here, let's place our palms on the upper part of the chest. Is where the lungs sit, right inside the rib cage at the top. They're huge organs. So let's start by touching the very top of the lungs. And whilst we inhale and exhale, it's not forcing anything. We're just helping the movement ride the wave of our breath. So as our arms are relaxed into the ground and the feet are still grounded and spreading, as we breathe in, we're just going to notice the sensation underneath the hands. So we don't need to push the chest up with the breath. Just noticing how the chest moves, if it does at all, with the in breath and the out breath. And we'll do 3 breaths in each area. So just going to breathe in. Noticing when you need to breathe out. And again, just breathing in your natural breath. And just having your hands there, just noticing what's going on underneath and breathing out. Once more, breathing in. Feeling, noticing what's going on underneath your hands and breathing out. So always going with your breath. Can be faster or slower than mine, or perhaps the same. So now let's move our hands down to the lower ribs, just before the diaphragm. This is where the bottom of the lungs sit in the rib cage. They're very huge organs there. Allowing the elbows to relax on the ground and the head and neck to still be released as well. I'm going to take 3 breaths here as well. Not forcing anything, just 3 of your natural breaths. And to just notice what's going on underneath your hands. So breathing in. And breathing out. Allowing any yawns, that's totally okay. Releasing any old air you don't need. So breathing in. And breathing out. Just noticing what's going on underneath your hands. Breathing in again. And breathing out. Lovely. And now we'll move the hands down to the belly. So just below the navel, placing your hands here. So this is our center, our core. Chinese medicine and energy work like Tai Chi or Qigong. It's called your Dantian. It's our powerhouse, our center of our being. So let's just do 3 breaths here in your own time. Not forcing anything. 3 natural breaths. We're going to breathe in. Woo. Allowing yawns to happen. It's totally natural. Breathing in again. And breathing out, and just allowing your hands to move at all if they do, with the breath. Once more, breathing in and breathing out. I'm just going to release the hands back down to the ground either side. Great. So from here, let's just bring a bit more attention downwards towards the feet. So let's just lift the toes off the floor and place them back down. And then lifting the heels and placing them back down onto the ground. Let's do this a couple of times, and we can do it on a breath as well. So I'm going to breathe in, the toes lift, breathing out, placing them back down again. Breathing in, the heels lift, breathing out, we place them back down again. Breathing in, toes lift, breathing out, placing them back down. Breathing in, heels lift, breathing out, placing them back down onto the ground. Once more, breathing in, toes lift. Breathing out, placing them back down softly onto the ground. Breathing in, the heels lift. Breathing out, placing them back down onto the ground. And then just resting here. We aren't full of yawns today. Must be something clearing in the chest, so that's great. So we're going to do movements with the arms to open up the chest a little bit more and the diaphragm. And I'll show you later the meridian channels that are linked in shiatsu, so Fujipan, and Chinese medicine. The lung and large intestine is all connected through the chest and down the arms and the back of the legs. We'll do some tapping down those later, but we can activate them whilst we're lying on the floor. So to begin, we'll breathe in. I'll just talk us through it. We'll breathe in, and then on an out breath, we're just going to gently let the belly button pull, kind of drop back towards the spine. Breathing out, and the arms come up towards the ceiling. As we breathe in, the palms face one another. As we breathe out, they undo and arc back down to the ground. We've done this sequence lots before, a long time ago, and I thought it would be lovely to come back to it. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out, the belly button draws back towards the spine and the arms come up to the ceiling. Breathing in, the palms face one another, and as we breathe out, the palms undo and the arms back down to the ground on an out breath. Breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back, then the arms lift effortlessly. Breathing in, palms face one another. Breathing out, undo the palms and float the arms back down. Let's do that once more. Breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back, arms float up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, palms facing one another. Breathing out, undo the palms and the arms float back down to the ground. Lovely. So the next sequence is going to breathe in, breathe out, belly button draws back, arms lift. As you breathe in, palms face one another. On an in-breath. On an out-breath, we're going to allow the arms to open sideways so we make a T shape on the floor. Take an in-breath here. So we're opening up the chest and the shoulders. And then on an out-breath, we're going to close everything up towards the sky and then all the way back down. So that's one full movement on an out-breath, up towards the ceiling and then arcing back down. So let's do that a few times together. Obviously using your own rhythm and breath. So you could go faster or slower than me, whatever's best for you. So breathing in. As we breathe out, the belly button draws back towards the spine and the arms float up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, palms facing one another. Breathing out, opening the arms to the side to make a T shape. Breathing in here. Breathing out, gathering the arms back up to the ceiling and then arcing the hands back down to the ground. Breathing in. Belly button draws back as you breathe out, arms up towards the sky. Breathing in, palms facing one another. Breathing out, open the arms to the side. Breathing in with your arms in a lovely T shape. Breathing out, scooping the arms back up to the ceiling and undoing the arc all the way to the ground. Let's do that twice more. Breathing in. Breathing out, belly button draws back, arms float up. Breathing in. Breathing out, opening the arms to a T shape. Breathing out, scooping the arms back to the ceiling and undoing the arc. Once more, breathing in. Making sure the head and neck are released. Belly button draws back as you breathe out and the arms float up. Breathing in, palms face one another. Breathing out, opening the arms to a T shape. Breathing in, breathing out, scooping and undoing. So we're just going to add one more thing in here with the arms. If anything's uncomfortable on the shoulders and the arms towards the head feels uncomfortable, you can take them to just before your head, so if they don't reach the floor, and also softening the elbows so you don't keep the arms straight. If that's still too much on the shoulder and the neck, just keep with the T shape and you don't have to come up with the arms towards the head at all. So if you do want to do that, it's the same sequence. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out, the arms float up, breathe in, palms face one another, breathing out, T shape. Breathing in, breathing out, they come back up to the sky, and then out breath. Breathing in, face the palms towards the knees, like we would before. But this time, as we breathe out, we're going to allow the arms to float up towards the head. If they can rest on the floor, that's great. We'll take an in breath here, filling the lungs and breathing out a huge arc all the way with the arms back to the ground. So let's just do this a few times together. If it's too much on the shoulders, again, you don't have to do this, or you can soften the elbows and just take the arms here rather than all the way to the floor. So breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back, arms float up on an out breath. Breathing in here, palms face one another. Breathing out into a T shape. Breathing in, resting on the floor. Breathing out, scooping the arms up. Breathing in here, facing the palms to the knees. And then on the next out breath, allowing the arms to float as far as is comfortable. Taking an in breath here, making sure the head and neck are released on the floor, not catching. And then on an out breath, scooping the arms in a huge arc all the way back down. So let's do that twice more. Breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back, hands float up towards the sky. Breathing in, palms face one another. Breathing out, open the arms to a T shape. Breathing in and resting on the floor. Breathing out, scooping the arms again. Breathing in, facing the palms to the knees. Breathing out, the arms move back towards the head. Relaxing on the floor as you breathe in. Breathing out, scooping the arms all the way back down to rest by the sides. Once more, breathing in. Breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine. The arms float up. Breathing in, palms facing one another. Breathing out, open to a T shape. Breathing in here. Resting. Breathing out, scooping the arms back to the center, to the sky. Breathing in, face the palms to the knees. On an out breath, moving the arms up towards the head. Breathing in here, allowing the spine to be nice and long. breathing out, scooping the arms all the way back towards the ground. And releasing here, letting the arms relax on the floor. We can move the feet. Great. If you feel that your sacrum's a little stuck, gently move the pelvis from side to side, initiating from the hips so the knees don't go all the way to the floor. Just small movements from side to side with the pelvis to rearrange the sacrum. Sometimes lying on the floor, the pelvis can get quite heavy, feel quite heavy and could get stuck. And that's what we don't want. We want to feel nice and free with the breath. Lovely. Great. And then releasing that movement, spreading the feet back down onto the ground, allowing the toes to relax and the heels to be connected as well. So we've opened up the chest and the arms and the neck area as well. Even though we have the head resting on the ground, all of this movement is helping these muscles down behind the shoulder and into the neck. So from here, we're just going to do some small pelvis tilts with the lower back still on the floor, using our breath. And we're going to use the rhythm, your own natural rhythm, with your own natural breath. We're not forcing anything or holding anything either. So arms are relaxed on the floor and we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, the belly button's drawing back towards the spine, and we can start to gently curl the pelvis under. It's a very subtle movement. My lower back's still on the ground. And then breathing in, undoing that. So it's a minute movement, but we're just gently opening the lower back into the ground and releasing it again. So we're making space around the waist and in the sacrum. So let's do this 6 times. Anytime rest if you need to, if 6 is too many, and you can go with your own rhythm of breath. So breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, and then the tail gently curls the pelvis under, and breathing in. That's 1. Breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back, pelvis gently presses into the ground, tilting. You can use your feet to help with this. And breathing in and undoing. Breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, gently curl the pelvis to open the waist. You can use the feet to press a little into the ground, breathing in and releasing that. 2 and 3. Number 4, breathing in. Breathing out, letting the belly button draw back towards the spine and gently curling the pelvis under. The lower back still on the ground and the sacrum. Breathing in and undoing that. And breathing out, belly button drawing back towards the spine. Pelvis gently tilts, pressing gently into the lower back. Breathing in and undoing that. Last one, number 6. Breathing in. Belly button draws back towards the spine and gently pressing, curling the sacrum under and breathing in and undoing. Lovely. So from here, we're just going to very gently come to all fours if that's comfortable for you. So rolling onto one side, making your way gently up to knees and hands. There's no rush. We've been on the floor for a little while. Gently moving. Great. We're just going to do cat-cow just to help us get up off the floor before we come to standing. So we're going to make sure our knees are in line with the pelvis, so we're not too far back or too far forward, because that may strain our lower backs. We want to make sure that the knees are nice and released on the floor as well, just as we would standing on our feet. So maybe just lifting the knees a little and helping the pelvis to rearrange. Relaxing the lower legs on the floor or perhaps on the bed. You can also do this on the chair. So with the knees soft and placing the hands on the chair, you can also do this. Palming the hands into the ground. So pouring, kind of like a cat. Spreading the fingers. Lovely. So similar kind of movement with the pelvis as we've just done on the floor and with the shoulders, because we've done all this opening with the arms lying down. We're going to put these two things together as a cat-cow. So we're going to breathe in here. As we breathe out, the belly button draws back towards the spine, the pelvis curls, and we can start to allow the head to come towards the ground as well. Curving the spine upwards, so imagining this is rounding up towards the sky, and then so it's breathing out and breathing in, the face and the tailbone move away from each other. We want to make sure we don't drop in the shoulders, the collarbone's still nice and wide at the front, and we're placing our weight nicely in the hands. And then we breathe out, tailbone towards the ground and the head, relaxing the head towards the ground. Breathing in, they move away. Nice and wide on the collarbone. Breathing out. So you want to do this in your own time, not holding or forcing the breath. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Using your own breath to let your body ride on the wave of the movement of the lungs. Lovely, and then coming back to neutral, palming the hands again. So anytime you need to rest your wrists, you can shake them out. And the same with the knees, you can just come to sitting or lying again. So this time we're just going to add an arm in, okay? We'll go to the side first. So as we breathe out, so we'll breathe in here and we're going to breathe out. The belly button draws back towards the spine and then the tailbone curls and the head. So as we're breathing out, we're going to open which way is it? Yeah, we're going to open the arm out to the side. So we're curling. You can curve the arm as well. It doesn't have to be straight. Lovely. And then breathing in. We're going to undo that. And then we're going to breathe out, one without an arm. And as we breathe in, same arm lifts forward and then comes back down again. So we're going to stabilize the right arm or the one that's supporting us. We want to make sure we're lifted up through the hands, through the elbows and the shoulders, so we're not sinking at all. Great. So we'll do the same thing here. I'll talk us through it. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out, belly button draws back towards the spine, tail curls, head curls, and arm moves out to the side, curling the arm. Breathing in, opening, breathing out, a plain one here. Breathing in, extending the arm forward and breathing out. We'll do the other side. Breathing in. This time the arm goes out to the side. As you breathe out, breathing in. Plain one here, breathing out. Breathing in, same arm. Breathing out. Breathing in. So other arm this time, breathing out, opening the arm out to the side. Breathing in. Breathing out, a plain one. Breathing in. Arm extends, same arm as we just took to the side, and breathing out. Breathing in. Once more on each side. Breathing out, opening arm up to the side. Breathing in here. Breathing out a plain one. Breathing in, opening arm forward. Breathing out. Breathing in. Opening up to the side. Breathing out. In. And a plain one on an out breath. Breathing in once more with the arm, lifting forward. And breathing out. Coming to a neutral and then sitting back if that's comfortable for you and releasing the wrists. Lovely. So let's gently make our way up to standing. There's no rush. So if you've been using the chair, you can also do this movement on the chair. My apologies, I've not got my chair with me this week. So imagining you have the chair here, knees are soft and the spine is nice and long. You can do these movements with a chair and the same here, okay? Extending with the arm, but using the chair rather than the floor or a bed. So gently making your way up to standing, and we're going to do our usual warm-ups with some dough in, and we'll work the lung and large intestine channels to open those up a little bit more, and then we'll do some circling and spiraling within each joint. So gently coming up to standing, shaking the arms and the legs out, having a wiggle around, feel what needs to be done in your body this morning. Maybe there's a little area that's a bit tight and you want to have a wiggle around. Or it could be the afternoon, shouldn't say this morning. It is the morning for me right now. Great, lovely. So we'll start by tapping using the fingertips to begin, and we'll gently do that by tapping the top of the head. It's kind of like raindrops all over the skull, back of the skull, the occipital ridge, the occipital bone, around the ears and onto the face. So we want to do this quite gently, making sure the wrists are nice and relaxed as well. And I'll just come a little bit closer so you can see. So as we're tapping, allow the shoulders to be relaxed. You can tap gently around the eyes. And there's this wonderful point here, either side of the nose. It's an acupuncture and acupressure point. It's on the large intestine channel, and it's marvelous for unblocking sinuses, helping with hay fever, and opening up any blockages within the sinuses and the face, and helping us to breathe and let go of old air that we don't need in our bodies. So there's this point here, either side of the nose, so we can tap there. Whoa. And it goes down the side of the face, either side of the neck, and across to the shoulders. So we can do that a couple of times, tapping, allowing that breath to come in and anything that you don't need to be released. Oh, yawning if you need to. There's nothing wrong with that at all. All the way to the top of the shoulders. So this time holding one elbow if that's comfortable, and gentle loose fist across the top of the shoulder towards the shoulder edge. Great. So always moving outwards from the neck all the way to the tip of the shoulder. And then onto the chest here. This is long one in shiatsu and acupressure and puncture. Intaking of our breath, our chi and ki into our bodies. And moving across the chest here, opening up those ribs. Ooh, definitely clears a lot of blockages. And the same with the other side. So I'm going to catch this elbow here. Loose wrists and fists. Always working outwards from the neck, across the top of the shoulder, all the way to the tip. Do this a couple of times. Great. And then into this lovely area called lung 1. And this one's large intestine 20, if you'd like to know. You can look those up if you're very curious. So lung 1, this is breathing, taking the breath in, and this one's eliminating things that you don't need, like blockages or bad air, or hay fever, anything like that. And then tapping onto the chest again. I'll come up to standing now. So we've tapped the chest, great. Now I'm gonna open the palms and tap either side of the torso down to the pelvis. Great. And then coming back to the first arm, I'm going to tap down kind of the inside edge. So if you have a tan, it could be right on the edge of that tan line towards the thumb. And then the way back up, we're going to tap up from the index finger, up the other part of this arm where it comes up to the shoulder. And that's where that meridian comes. So it goes down from the shoulder to the thumb. That's the lung, and then up the large intestine. And we can just tap up a little bit onto the neck, and then we've already done the face. So you can use a loose fist, always loose wrist, or tapping with the fingers, or you can also do a palm cupping as well. So if you feel any blockages or stagnation in the body, you can decide to tap a bit firmer. If you feel that you're a bit delicate or feeling a bit sensitive around the chest area this morning, tap a bit more gently. So using the fingers, tapping gently, or you can use a loose fist, whatever's right for you today. So let's do this twice more. Down the inside, gently down the inside towards the thumb, or not so gently, seeing how you feel. Perhaps you want a really nice intake of air this morning and let go of things. You can give it a nice pummel. Whew, it's releasing something. Great. Across the chest and releasing the arm. I'm going to go down the inside aspect of the arm towards the thumb. Up the index finger side, all the way to the top of the shoulder. Twice more. Down to the thumb. And back up from the index finger. Great, once more down to the thumb. Woo. It's definitely clearing all air that I don't need. Great, and once more down the thumb. And up the index finger, up the arm to the chest again. And then with the palms, either side of the torso, from the top down to the pelvis. Great. And then from here, so I'm going to turn sideways so you can see a bit more. I'm going to keep my knees soft, only go as far as is comfortable, okay? And we're going to tap. So imagine the legs are a bit of a box. So this is a surface and this is a surface. And where the corner meets, that's where we're going to tap. So imagining from here, there's a line all the way down to the back of the heel here. And that's where we're going to tap. And then we'll come back up the inside of the legs. And we'll go around 3 times. If it's uncomfortable at all, imagine, so you can tap the top of the pelvis and imagine that you're going down and up. So even just doing this, and imagine you're going to your heels. So we're going to tap down the outside corner, softening the knees, relaxing the head. Even if you just get to here, you can come back up this way. So we're going to go down the outside, the large intestine channel. And then we're going to come up the spleen to give us energy upwards. Going down the large intestine channel, up the spleen to give us energy upwards. Once more, tapping down and up the spleen. Lovely. And then just gently with the fingertips tapping round underneath the ribs and then the pelvis. And then we'll just gently come to some circles on our hara, on our belly. So you want to go to your right hip and up to the right side of the ribs, across to the left side of the ribs, and down to the left pelvis. So this is the way your digestive system works. It's very good for calming the nerves, or if you have any digestion problems, also giving you some energy as well. And then we're going to make these circles smaller. So we're spiraling inwards to just coming below the navel to our dantian, where our center of our being is. Great. And if you wish to, you can just close your eyes as we stand here. You can keep your hands on your dantian, on your center, if that feels good. And as you're standing here, I'd just like to read a little thing. It's again from Sandra Sabatini's book. As you stand here and feel all the work of the opening of these channels, enjoy the benefits as you focus attention on the breath. It becomes very effective at cleaning and purifying at a deep level. As the breath cleans and purifies, there is an increased feeling of lightness and renewed energy in the body, and a greater calmness and clarity of mind. So if you have your eyes closed, you can gently open them and release your hands from your hara, your dantian, and allow the arms to relax by the side. So we're going to send some more energy to our feet. So let's shift our weight to one foot and do our circling of the ball of the foot. Lovely. So finding areas that might need a bit more attention. My right foot is a little bit clunky this morning. And then changing direction. Or perhaps there's an area that you just don't want to go there because it's too uncomfortable or tight this morning. If that feels like you don't want to do that part, that's totally fine as well. And then the same thing again, I'll move sideways so you can see. Letting the toes tuck under and gently pressing into the front of the ankle, or just lifting the heel up. So we're just opening this part of the ankle. Great. And then stepping that back. So we're activating that channel that we've just tapped, or imagine we've tapped, the lung and large intestine that runs down the legs. Great. And once more, gently tucking the toes under. This opens the front meridians, which is the stomach and spleen. So any digestive problems or anything in the belly that you want to help smooth over or stressful, the opening the front of the body is going to be perfect for that. So let's swap feet, swapping over. Shift the weight to the foot you've just worked on. We're going to do circles with the ball of this foot as well. Allowing the pelvis and the ribs to be free on the top. We can grow the spine up towards the sky as we stand and circle, and allowing the breath to be natural. Perhaps one of your foot is smoother than the other. I'm enjoying my left foot a little bit more today. And then change direction. Same thing, perhaps there's somewhere that really wants attention or doesn't. So do what feels right for you. Lovely. And then we're going to tuck the toes under, gently pressing into the front of the foot there, and then stepping that back into a lunge, opening the back of the leg up from the sole of the foot all the way up into the pelvis here. Lovely. Once more, gently tucking the toes under, or just lifting the heel up, opening the front of the leg, and then stepping that back, opening the back of the leg up. Lovely. And then undoing that. And then we'll bring the feet gently closer together. They don't have to touch. If you have lower back issues, you can just gently soften the knees, place the hands on the pelvis either side, and do gentle circles with the knees here. Not leaning forward, keeping upright, and just a gentle softening in the knees. If you feel comfortable too, you can place your hands on your kneecaps. Allow the shoulders to be soft down the ribs at the back, and the head and neck are relaxed. And we're going to do circles with the knee joints. So WD-40, by circling all the joints, we're sending our synovial fluid around the body to help oil the movement within the joints. And change direction. Not forgetting to breathe, however that is for you right now. Spreading the feet in the ground. And here we're massaging the ankles as well as the knees and the lower back, and a little bit all the way through the spine, even to the shoulders. And then softening that movement. We want to bend the knees a little bit more. Place the tail underneath yourself again and uncurl. Head's the last thing to come up. We'll step out a little bit wider. Great. So let's imagine we have a massive hula hoop. So you can use your arms out to the side if that helps. And you can keep your knees soft if you want to. So let's begin imagining we have a hula hoop round our waist and we're sending it round. Perhaps one direction's easier than the other. So we're gently moving this hula hoop around our bodies, allowing the pelvis to make lovely juicy circles, to release the lower back. It's also good for the ankles, the knees, the spine, and the ribs. Not forgetting to breathe. Lovely. Maybe one day we will get some hula hoops in. I think that would be a lot of fun. And change direction. Lovely. Perhaps one side's easier than the other. I can notice as I go back on this side, it's a little tight in my lower back or kind of like pelvis area, but that's okay. It feels okay for me to still do this. It feels like it's opening the stiffness in the lower back and into the glutes. But if it doesn't feel okay, you can stop or make smaller circles. Your imaginary hula hoop is still up in the air around your waist. It's a magic one. It won't drop to the ground. And then slowly making that hula hoop circle, spiral inwards. Lovely. You can release the arms and then gently releasing that. And just take the pelvis from side to side. So I'm softening the knee as I move from side to side. A little bounce. So you can do this a little slower if that feels better for you. And then you can allow the ribs to kind of slide on over each side. You can do this a lot smaller or subtly. But if you want to make this a fuller movement, you can. Not forgetting to breathe, working with your breath, and I'm just pouring my weight from one foot to another, opening the ribs and the side of the hips. Great. I'm releasing the arms and the shoulders, and then letting that ebb away. I'm going to come back to a more parallel with my feet. into our mountain pose. Lovely. And from here, let's just circle the shoulders forward, up and back. Lovely. Juicy circles, allowing the shoulder girdle to be wide and open. Allowing any yawns or breaths to come in. Well, definitely breaths to come in. And then twice we'll raise the shoulders up on an in-breath, and then on an out-breath, releasing the shoulders, and the spine grows upwards more. So once more, breathing in, drawing the shoulders up. As you breathe out, the spine grows up and the shoulders drop. Lovely. Then we're just going to take our head from one side to the other. We're not straining, just gently looking, allowing the neck to release. Lovely. Gently taking the gaze over. You can also think of these points either side of the nose, moving from one side of the face to the other. And we're gently opening this meridian across the face and neck as we move the head from side to side, our large intestine meridian. Opening that. Letting go of things we don't need, whether that be physically or emotionally, any stress. Letting that go. Lovely. And then coming back to the center, and we'll just do twice, chin to chest, allowing the back of the neck to open and the face to relax towards the floor. And then with the eyes, we're taking our focus to look up towards the sky, keeping space at the back of the neck. So there's still a lot of space here, and we're just gently looking up to wherever's comfortable for you. And then again, chin to chest. The face can relax. The feet are spreading the ground and the legs are nice and tall, supporting you. And then the eyes take you to look up towards the sky, so we're not collapsing in the throat or the neck at the front, gently lifting. Effortlessness within the movement, and then back to the center. Lovely. Great. I hope you're feeling a bit more light and ease in your body. So from here, I'd like to teach a small sequence, very similar to what we've done with our arms on the floor already, but we're going to add a little bit in with the legs and a bit more with the spine. So modify the movements as you go, so only go as far as is comfortable for you. Okay, so I'll face this way. Hopefully you can see my arms. Perhaps I'll just move the screen a little. There we are. That's a bit better. Lovely. So now you can see my hands a little bit more into the ceiling. Great. So we want to stand with our feet parallel on the floor, whether that be hip width or shoulder width apart, but the toes are facing forward, and see if we can get our heels a little more aligned so then feet aren't turned in or turned out. Lovely. So let's really rearrange our feet so they're comfortable and spreading on the ground, and the legs can grow up like strong tree trunks, and the pelvis can get really comfortable and rearrange itself on the top of the legs, and the spine can just gently, effortlessly grow upwards towards the sky. Great. So just like we do on the floor, we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, the belly button draws back towards the spine. Breathing out, we're going to soften the knees and let the arms come up towards the shoulder height. And then breathing in again. This time we're going to breathe out as the belly button draws back towards the spine, the arms come up, and then we're going to open them out to the side into a T shape like this. Okay, so first one is breathing in. Breathing out, belly button draws back, the arms soften, knees soften and float to shoulder height, and then come back up, breathing in. Breathing out, belly button draws back, breathing out, and then the arms open towards the side. Then we're going to breathe in here. We're going to gently allow the heels to float off the floor, if that's okay for you. So we want to make sure that the lower spine doesn't collapse as we lift up. It's as though this is still happening because the belly button's drawing back still. Okay, so that's breathing in, the heels gently lift off, doesn't have to be far. So we breathe out, the heels come back towards the ground, soften the knees and curl the spine like a huge circle that we're making with the arms and the spine on an out breath. And as we breathe in, we're going to uncurl that and the arms come up towards the sky. Great. We're going to breathe in here, and as we breathe in, we're going to extend the fingers towards the sky and the heels down towards the ground. And as we breathe out, if this is okay for your lower back, so I'll demonstrate first and then explain a modification. As we breathe out, we're going to soften the knees and you can gently look up towards the sky a little bit more on an out breath. Breathing in, lengthening again, breathing out, softening the knees and the arms. Okay, so if this movement on an out breath is too much for you, and the same with the arms, perhaps you want them elbows soft and not so high, and just softening the knees, and that's enough. We don't have to go all the way back into a back extension and opening the front. Okay, so I'll go through that once more and then we'll add one more thing with the legs, okay? So we're going to breathe in, breathe out, belly button draws back, breathing out, softening the knees and the arms, and then undoing that as you breathe. Breathing in, breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, breathing out, softening the knees and opening arms to a T shape. Breathing in here, the heels lift off, and we're going to not collapse here, we're going to keep this nice and long. As we breathe out, the heels come back towards the ground, soften the knees and curl the spine forward. Breathing in, we're going to open up towards the sky. Great. And as we breathe out, you can soften the knees and go to wherever's comfortable for you on an out breath. Breathing in, lengthening the legs again. Breathing out, softening the knees and releasing the arms. Great. We're just going to add one more thing here. So as you breathe out and releasing, this time as we breathe in, we're going to shift the weight to the left foot so the right foot can unpeel. We're going to step that back into a lunge so all the toes are still facing forward. The front leg's still bent and we're going to float the arms up. We're going to breathe in and gather nice and long. Breathe out, floating that front leg forward. We want to make sure, so my pelvis is open. What we want to do is keep imagine we have headlamps on the front of the pelvis. We want to shine those lights forward, so not opening this way. Great. We'll do this twice. So breathing in, and as on the last time, breathing out. And then as we breathe in, if you feel comfortable to, you can breathe in and extend a little bit, just like we did standing, and breathe out, forward, pressing the feet together and releasing. Great. So I'll demonstrate this all on the other side, and then I'll do it once more again on each side, a little bit faster and less stopping. Anytime you need to relax, or you can make your lunge a lot smaller. So this is warrior one. Take that to wherever's comfortable for you, really making sure that the headlamps on the front of the pelvis are facing forward. So you saw my mistake. Well, it's just a correction with alignment with the pelvis open. We want it facing forward. Lovely. So I'll do the other side for you. So we're going to breathe in, breathing out, belly button draws back towards the spine, soften the knees and the arms float up. Breathing in, breathing out, Soften the knees, open the arms to the side. Breathing in, gently lifting the heels up. Breathing out, heels back to the ground. Soften the knees and curl forward. Lovely. Breathing in and uncurling to come up to standing with the arms up towards the sky. Breathing out, softening the knees and looking up towards the sky with the arms, if that's comfortable for you. Breathing in, sending the legs and the arms back. Lovely. Breathing out, we're just going to release the arms. This time I'm going to shift my weight to my right leg. I'm going to breathe in, breathe out, step that back into Warrior One, making sure the headlamps are facing forward. Breathing out, breathing in, drawing everything nice and long. Breathing out here, shifting the knee forward. Breathing in, breathing out, and this time we're going to stay here on an out breath. And then if you wish to, breathing in, gently looking up towards the sky, if that's comfortable for you. And breathing out, undoing the arms and stepping the foot back in. Lovely. So let's do both sides again. So we're going to shift the weight to our left foot first so the right foot can escape, and then we'll do the same on the left side again. So making sure the feet are nice and spread into the ground all the time. We're sending the breath down and working with gravity so we can allow our spine and upper body to move with less effort and more ease and lightness. So breathing into the belly, breathing out, softening the arms and the knees, breathing in, breathing out, soft the arms and knees and they draw out to a T shape, breathing in, gently lifting the heels off the floor all the way up to the spine. There's a nice connection. Breathing out, heels back to the ground, soften the knees and curl the spine and arms. Breathing in, uncurl forward. Breathing out, softening the knees and looking up towards the sky if that's okay for you. Breathing in, undoing that and releasing the arms and the knees there. Shift the weight to the left foot, opening the right behind you, keeping the hips facing forward, spreading the feet. The lunge can be as large as you like. There's no problem at all. Breathing out here. Breathing in, lengthening everything, even the shoulder girdle at the front. Breathing out, sliding forward. Breathing in, lengthening. Breathing out, sliding forward. Breathing in. Once more, breathing out. This time we can stay here. As you breathe in, you can look up towards the sky if that's okay on your spine, but making sure this is still connected so we're not tilting in the pelvis. Lovely. Breathing out, coming back, stepping through, and we'll go the other side. Breathing in, breathing out, softening, letting the arms float. Breathing in, breathing out, they float and open. Breathing in, letting the heels float off the floor. Breathing out, heels back to the ground, soften the knees, curl the spine. Breathing in and undoing that. Lovely. Breathing out, softening the knees, looking up towards the sky. Breathing out and undoing that and softening the knees. This time we're going to shift the weight to the right foot, allow the left foot to escape. Breathing out. Hips facing forward. It's nice to correct myself and allow the pelvis to be grounded. This, like that. Then breathing in, floating long. Breathing out, shifting that leg forward with the softening. Breathing in, lengthening, even here, wide. Breathing out, and we're going to stay here if that's comfortable. Breathing in, gently look up towards the sky if that's okay for you, making sure you don't collapse in the neck at the front. Breathing out, softening forward and undoing that. Lovely. And taking a breath, you can release the arms and the legs. Great. I hope you're feeling okay after that. So moving through those sequences. So you can do a couple more rounds if you wish to. You can pause and rewind me if you would like to. You can also do these with a chair. You can also do it sitting as well. So allowing, sitting on a chair, allowing the spine to move and forward. There's absolutely no problem with doing this sitting on a chair with the feet spread on the ground and the pelvis connected well to the chair as well. So from here, so you can come to a chair if that's easier to sit. If you want to, you can come to sit on the ground, which is what we'll do now, come to sitting. So getting comfortable wherever you are. Lovely. So I'm going to sit cross-legged and I'm going to sit on a block. So you get comfortable. You don't have to sit cross-legged. You can sit kneeling or sitting on a chair, but really want to make sure that the sitting bones, those bony parts underneath the pelvis, are well connected. So we're not sitting back on the glutes. We want to make sure on that meaty bit, we want to make sure that our pelvis can drop nicely with gravity towards the earth and the spine can grow nice and long up towards the sky. Lovely. And we're going to do a similar thing with our hands and breath that we did lying down at the start. So to begin, we'll place our hands on our upper chest here where the lungs begin, all the way up here, allowing the elbows to relax. So you can also do this sitting down. If you want to do it lying again, you can. You feel free to do what is comfortable for you. We want to make sure that we're not pinching the shoulder blades at the back, that the shoulder girdle is nice and wide. We have a spine that's nice and long. It's not straight, it is curved. We have a natural curve in our spine. So in allowing that movement and shape in the spine to exist. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. Same thing again with the breaths at the beginning. No forcing and no holding, and allowing the movement to just happen underneath your hands. So we're not forcing the breath up towards the ribs at the top. So we're just going to breathe in. So your own rhythm, your own natural rhythm, breathing in. Just noticing what happens underneath your hands and breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Once more, your own natural breath. Nothing forced. Breathing out. And releasing that. Perhaps that feels different. You notice something different from when we were lying down to begin. How does the upper chest and back feel? Just noticing. Hopefully it's a bit more released and open, and there's a sense of more breath coming in. Let's move the hands down to the ribs. So now my elbows are out slightly to the lower ribs. If that's a little uncomfortable, you can cross your hands over so you can relax the shoulders. So I have my hands either side of the ribs there like this. We're just going to breathe 3 breaths here. Just noticing as we breathe in the movement underneath the hands, and as we breathe out. 2 more breaths, breathing in. Noticing the movement of the lower ribs, breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Once more. And out. And then releasing the arms. We'll place our hands now on the dantian, so just below the navel and before the pelvis. There's a small space there. It's your center. your energy center, your core being. We're just going to do 3 breaths here as well. We want to make sure that the shoulders are still nice and relaxed and not pinched at the back or closed at the front, releasing the shoulders. Lovely. And the spine can grow up towards the sky as the pelvis is rooting down with gravity. So 3 breaths here, breathing in. Sensing the feeling and movement underneath your hands as you exhale. And breathing in. Breathing out. And breathing in again. Breathing out. Lovely. I'm releasing that. So as we're sitting, I thought whether you're on the floor, excuse me, whether you're on the floor or sitting on a chair. So if you need to move your legs, if they feel a bit uncomfortable, you can. We're just going to bring the hands to a prayer position and make the fingers move away from you, and then open the fingers like this. And we're going to do our wagging dragon's tail movement. So my left hand is pressing into my right. And then as soon as I get as far as is comfortable, so I can go further, but it feels like something's straining a bit. So I'm only going as far as is comfortable. And then I'm going to press back with the other hand, the right hand, allowing the spine to join in, and the shoulder blades, shoulder girdle, but the movement comes from the hand. So I'm pressing this hand into this one and then releasing it to where I feel a little resistance. It's not uncomfortable, it's just where I get a little resistance, and I come back with the other hand. And we just have a natural breath here. We don't have to move in and out on an out breath and an in breath. Allow your breath to do what it needs to do as you move from side to side. We're allowing the index finger and thumb to come together, joining up the lung and large intestine meridians through the face, the chest and the hands. Going at your own speed. You can also do this a lot more subtly. It doesn't have to be huge. But this movement's helping the spine and the spinal cord relax and all the nerves throughout the body. Allowing the breath to be natural and using gravity as our friend, supporting us. So the more we can undo, just like I read at the beginning of Sandra Sabatini's book, we're undoing the doing, really letting gravity and breath do the work for us. And now I know we're pressing one hand into the other, but just imagine that gravity and breath is doing it for us, and it becomes effortless and light. Lovely. And then we're just going to gently allow this movement to become smaller. This is really good for relaxing the nervous system. So if you're having trouble sleeping or you're feeling a little anxious, this movement is amazing for the nervous system, calming us down. Allow the tail movement of the dragon to become smaller and settled in the center again. And then release the hands. So from here, let us come to rest on the floor in Shavasana, in our corpse's pose. You can let your legs out long or have a cushion, bolsters underneath your knees. Do whatever you feel is most comfortable for you, or a cushion under your head if you can't quite let the neck nice and long. So take your time to relax onto the floor. There's nothing to do now apart from let the doing undo. So really allowing everything to release and relax. I'm going to allow my legs out nice and long. Perhaps you want to wiggle the legs to see if they really are relaxed. Rearranging the shoulders and the arms on the floor. Perhaps rolling the head from side to side to release the neck. And allow the spine to be nice and long and uncurling on the floor. Or don't forget, you can have your feet up, placed on. So I'm going to allow my legs nice and long. And we're just going to relax here. So today it's quite warm for me in my house, but perhaps you'd like a blanket over you. You're feeling a little cool or you need some comfort. So place a blanket, cushions, anything that you need to support and comfort yourself so you can really relax into the ground. And if you wish to focus on anything, perhaps just notice where your breath is in your body. Not changing it, not forcing it, just noticing where it is. Perhaps yawns come, and that's totally okay as well. Things are releasing. So as you're lying here, I'm going to read a visualization. So if you want to drift off, let the words waft over you, feel free to. Do what you need to do. Creating space. Be still. Breathe. Let go the need to do anything. Sense the stillness, emptiness at the bottom of your breath. Perhaps pause in the turning moment between one breath and another. Wait. Open the inside of your body. Open the pathways of bone, opening the skin. Let your body spread open as a sail to the wind. Move the spaces in and around your body. Sense endings, beginnings, the space between one bone and another. Feel the play and delicacy of the joints in the body. Pause in the moment before an action. At the edge, sense the possibilities of movement, change of direction. Listen to the space between one moment and another. Letting your body breathe. Make room inside and out. Lovely. So if you wish to do a longer meditation, there are several videos, visualization of the heart and the heart protector. There's a candle meditation and there's the sounds that we can chant with each chakra on the website. You'll find those below this one. And if you wish to stay lying, you can stay resting on the ground in Shavasana now. Or if you'd like to gently come up to sitting, whatever's comfortable for you. And we're just going to sit for a few moments and just let everything settle in the body. Allow the mind to become clear and empty and to have clarity. Clarity from all the breath work and movement we've done. So getting comfortable, if you want to come up to sitting, you can sit on a bolster or sit on a chair, getting really comfortable. You can allow your hands to rest on your knees Or if you'd like to use a mudra, which is hand movements and symbols. So if you place your middle finger and thumb together, if you feel free to, this helps create a symbol, a circle, which connects everything together. So this is a mudra to help everything come together, body and mind. So we'll just sit for a few moments, and when we're done, just mention that we can open our eyes in our own time. We're just going to focus on our breath, wherever that is, and allow the pelvis to root down towards the ground, letting gravity gently take the pelvis down so the spine can grow towards the sky. Anytime you need to move, feel free to. You can close your eyes if you wish, and allow any thoughts to pass through your mind like clouds. So we're not grasping onto them, but we're also not beating ourselves up for having them. Gently focusing on our breath. And if you have your hands in mudra, just gently releasing the finger and thumb. If you have your eyes closed, gently opening your eyes. And we'll bring the arms up to the side and in prayer position and draw them down. And say thank you and namaste for coming to the online movement and yoga with me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you can watch it as many times as you like, the joy of videos, and you can repeat it as many times as you like as well. Well, take care, and I hope that your breath is freer and softer for your body to move with more ease. Bye-bye, and see you next time.